Hello and welcome to the Remedy Fibers podcast, a podcast about knitting and crochet hosted by me, Jillian. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So today we're having a quick check-in. I wanted to talk a little bit about a festival coming to me called Lambtown Festival, as well as some works in progress, some impulse yarn that I purchased, as well as possibly some new spinning wheel upgrades. So if you're interested, stay tuned. But if you're new here, I live in Northern California with my husband and dog Benny. I love everything yarn related and I hope you stay for my yarn journey. So first, let's get started with my impulse buy. Over the weekend, I was able to visit Michael's. I stopped by real quick. Not really having a plan in mind, not really anticipating any yarn purchases, but I found this beautiful luxurious yarn and I decided that it had to come home with me. So let me show you what it is, and one of the reasons why I gravitated to it, you're gonna see, is the color, but also because it included a pattern. So I picked up some Caron Marble Cakes, and this is the first time I'm seeing this in the store. I don't know if this is new or it's just been a long time that I visited Michael's, but look at this color, look at this marbling effect. I thought it was so cute. I needed it, and what made me go for the purchase was this sweater design. I'll also include a picture of it here because I found it on Ravelry. But this sweater, I love the marled look, I love the turtleneck. I'm here for a good turtleneck, and I just wanted an impulse purchase, and so this one called my name. So the yarn is called Caron Marble Cakes by Yarnspiration. There's no wool in here. It's 100% acrylic, and I was a little bit worried about that because I know that acrylic sweaters tend to be very warm, but I'm thinking that it can be worn in the colder season when I don't need a jacket. This can kind of fulfill that warmth category. And the pattern is called the Marled top down knit turtleneck. And so I looked at how many balls. I love that it showed how many balls the pattern needed, which was 3, so that's what I picked up for my size, as well as the knitting needles. I already had those, so I thought it was just a great weekend cast on. So I got this one, and this one right here. As you can see, I'm already working on that. And this sweater does call for, I think it's about 1,000 yards or a little bit over 1,000 yards. And each one of these has 404 yards. So let me show you what it's looking like. But before I show you that, believe it or not, this little thing is what the pattern is on. So I can't believe that the pattern is written on the label. When you remove the label here, I'm just gonna rip it for you to see. This is the pattern, that little font. They have it in English and they also have it in French. And I said, how are my eyes gonna see this? So I've been working through the pattern. I'm up to this part of the pattern. I've ripped the part that I already passed, and then when I do need to do a pattern repeat, I pull up the notes app, put in my row repeats, and use it that way until I'm ready to move on to the next part. But I'm not 100% sure if Ravelry has the downloadable pattern. I'll double check, but if not, sadly you're gonna have to read it this small and use a magnifying glass because it's so tiny. But this is where I'm at with the pattern. I really like the construction of this pattern, and even if acrylic is not your thing, I think the pattern is a really good go-to pattern because there's no German short rows. It's just make ones, which is really easy. It creates this really pretty yarn over look with that braid looking thing going down. And so I cast on, this is kind of where I'm at. I don't even really know where I'm at. I think I'm working on the sleeves, but I haven't done a yoke construction like this before. So I don't even know, is this the chest and then this is the shoulder? Am I gonna have to pick up to do the turtleneck? It looks really good on all the project pages for people who have finished it. But I love the marled look, how it goes from like that lilac to the darker purple, and then it's just gonna keep transitioning all over the place. And it even inspired me to potentially buy dyed wool and then undyed wool and spin that together to create this marled effect, because I buy the acrylics, but I don't really like how it feels. I like how the wool feels. This one feels a little bit stiff. I know that after I wash it and wear it, it's gonna soften up, but the process of it has been a little bit stiff and rough on my hands. And then you need the metal needles. I tried doing it with wood needles. Terrible. And also I had trouble getting gauge. I ended up using the recommended needle size, but I tried a US 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I even tried 11. It just wasn't working out for me. So when I did the gauge swatch for the US 8, which is the recommended needle size, I was off by a few stitches, so I'm just gonna go with that, and it should be oversized based off the finished garment measurements, so hopefully it'll be good. If not, it'll be a practice piece because I really like this sweater construction. I want to say the yoke, the circle yoke, and this has been my top fave. I'm not really a fan of knitting front and back separately and all the other sweater constructions. This one I'm really enjoying. So let me know what you think about this Caron Marble Cakes. Have you tried this? Have you knit with it? Would you go to the store and pick some up yourself? This was an impulse buy and it slowed me on my progress for all my other projects, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna knit what I want when I feel like it, right? Next up, from my work in progress, I didn't have much time this week to work on it. I already went past sleeve separation and I think I'm about an inch or two past the sleeve separation. So this is my Captiva Crop by Laura Murphy. It's in fingering cotton. This is by Terrapin Fiberworks, so it's hand dyed cotton. And it's looking, or is this tencel? This might be tencel, not cotton, because it feels different. But this is how it looks so far. Not much progress since you last seen it, and I will blame my impulse buy on that. I was thinking, what am I going to show this week, because I barely touched this. I barely touched any project. This whole weekend was dedicated to my new cast on, but it be like that. I know that we all are guilty of that as well. So this is where I'm at, and I guess I'm just really loving purple this month, the last couple weeks, because everything is purple over here. So since I haven't really worked on my Captiva Crop, I can tell you a little bit about what I'm wearing. This is the Felix Cardigan by Amy Christophers. I talked a little bit about it last week. This has to be my most worn piece. It's so fun, it's so cozy. It doesn't have the ideal fit that I want. I don't know if it was the yarn that I chose or my gauge or after it blocked, and I'm not sure what happened, but or maybe it could be that the button band and the buttons like just really weigh it down, but the sleeves fit perfectly. This would be perfect if it wasn't so loose and drapey, and it's like something weird happened with the neck. I want it to be a little more stiff, so I'm thinking I see a Felix cardigan in my future, but with the yarn, maybe I'll go with the recommended yarn that the pattern recommends, or something more non-superwash where it can kind of hold and it's not going to stretch out, hold some of that firmness. But this is definitely one of my favorite cardigans. I wear it all the time, even though there are improvements that I would want to make with it in the future. So the last time we talked, I had mentioned that I wanted to go to the Sierra Nevada Yarn Crawl happening this weekend, but I realized that I am working that weekend. I was able to get a switch, but I was so indecisive for like hotels and travel, so I decided that maybe I'll go to it next year. But for now, I want to say in 2 weeks, Lambtown Festival, located in Dixon, California, is coming to me. So I'm going to save up my little coins, my little dollars, and head over there for the October 7th and 8th weekend. So I have a video, I'll link it here, of me visiting the Lambtown Festival for the very first time last year. And so I thought it would be a great transition to go again this year. And I'll tell you a little bit about it, what I love about it, and what I'm looking forward to this upcoming festival season. So Lambtown Festival is in its 37th year, and it's actually one of the largest sheep and wool festivals in California. I want to say it's not too far from me, very close in proximity, and what I loved about it was it's so authentic to the sheep and wool experience. So yeah, there is superwash yarn and vendors that have more skeins that you see commercially, but here they have sheepdog demonstrations, sheep shearing. There's so many vendors that have raw wool. They even have fleece that you can purchase, lots of spinning wheels that you can try. And that's actually where I got my Ashford traditional 1975 spinning wheel at a discounted price. And there's just so much wool. I even got a braided fiber over there, and I think I made a hat and mitten set, which is so dear to me. I lost one mitten, but it's okay. And I'm thinking if I go, I want to get more fiber to actually spin another sweater. And when I was doing my research, I saw that they're going to have a skein and textile competition. Entries are only $5, and I'm thinking of including my handspun sweater that I knit this past year in the competition, and maybe I can win first, second, third prize. We'll see, but I'm thinking of including that sweater because I'm really proud of it, because I spun it to sweater, and I have a whole series on that. If you're interested in watching, I can also include it here. But here at the festival, they're going to have 69 vendors all over California, all over the West Coast, and so I'll definitely be buying yarn, wool. I was thinking of getting a new spinning wheel because the one that I currently have has very small bobbins, the original bobbins that came with the spinning wheel. But I was thinking, instead of buying a whole new spinning wheel, which can range anywhere from $900 to $1,000, I was thinking, what if I just get upgraded amenities for my wheel, save money, and then get the wheel that's already in really good condition to work for what I need it to be good for. So I was doing some research, and I actually found a video on YouTube from someone who had the same exact spinning wheel as me and upgrading the flyer. So the issue that I'm having is that the bobbins are really small, and I need to spin using a lot of bobbins just to fill it up, and then when I'm plying, the bobbin is filling up way too fast, and I need to cut the yarn and use a new bobbin, and it's just really inconvenient. It's an inconvenience for me. So I'm thinking of upgrading to a jumbo flyer with jumbo bobbins so that I don't have any disruptions in my spinning, and I can spin without having to change it and cut the yarn. It's just gonna be more consistent with my spin. So all in all, when I put everything in the shopping cart, it ranges to about $150 in upgrades, which is expensive. But thinking about it compared to buying a whole new wheel, that nothing's wrong with my current wheel, I feel like it would be a good investment to kind of conquer some of the issues that I've been having with it. So let me know if you have any experience upgrading wheels, what you think about that, because I really want some more input before I take the plunge, because my wheel is older, the parts are newer. I'm thinking of getting them unfinished so I can try to match the dark wood finishing. But that's something that's been on my mind for a few months, and something that I think that I'm ready to make the upgrade just so that I can use my spinning wheel a little bit more consistently. If you're thinking about purchasing a vintage or used Ashford traditional spinning wheel, make sure you check out Jillian Eve's podcast. I'll link it down below, because she actually has a video of purchasing a old vintage wheel, making the upgrades, bringing it back to life, and that was something that also inspired me to make some upgrades to my wheel. But as for life update, I want to say that I've been taking my time, relaxing, enjoying my long weekends. They've actually been feeling quite short, but we finally wrapped up with all of our trainings. We're ready for move-in. The school year is about to kick off, and so this week we'll be welcoming all of our students back to campus, and it's really exciting. They're all excited to be back. Even our off-campus students are slowly working their way back to campus. Really excited for the start of a new academic year. Benny, my dog, is long awaited for everyone to return to give him snuggles and pets. That's his favorite part of being around so many students. But other than that, I'm excited to go to the Lambtown Festival, continue to explore yarn shops around the West Coast. I'm really enjoying Knitty Natty's videos, taking us all over the US, exploring yarn shops, dyeing yarn. Really has my creativity going. I love to see different yarn places around the US. And lastly, I've just been cooking, making all of my pumpkin spice everything. I saw that in Trader Joe's they have pumpkin bread. I want to try that. But I've been making pumpkin coffee, pumpkin spice seasoning in there. It's been really fun this fall season, and we have finally broke out of the 90s. High 80s is where we're at right now. So I was able to do a little fall shopping for clothes because I need that transitional weather. This transitional weather is a beast. In the morning it's cold, at night it's cold, and right around that noon 2 o'clock time frame, you feel like you're back in summer. It's so hot outside. So I'm excited for the fall season. I've been catching up on YouTubers for fall plans, fall makes, fall hobbies, everything fall. And it's just really my season because Scorpio season is coming. November is coming. I can't wait to do all the birthday plans. I'm so excited for this season. But comment down below, what are you working on? What's on your crochet hooks? What's on your knitting needles? I'm excited to hear what plans you have for this fall season, as well as what's been going on with you. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you and your family are happy, healthy, and safe, and talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.